All right, we got a practice run, right? Okay, here we go. Coming into camp, like I said, I told you you've got a long, lanky body. You can really get that nice and open and extended, and you can generate a lot of whip and drive because you can really accelerate the ball to the target, take advantage of that those long limbs and all that. Coming into camp, we had a couple of fundamental issues. Number one is you were really hunkered down. You were hunched up. See how the back is round? Remember that your center of gravity is your belly button, and that longer, lighter front end needs to be well extended to counterbalance that shorter, heavier haunches region. So that basically says that if we're hunkered down, we got a lot less weight distribution on each side of the center of gravity, harder to be balanced and leveraged and powerful. So the first thing we need to do is kind of straighten out that spine, okay? Align the spine. The next thing we need to do is you're so low to the ground, you don't have a lot of operating room. So what we need to do essentially is take this head to tail platform by unbending the legs like a scissor lift, elevate it a couple inches higher off the ground, okay? Once we've done that, because as we talked about earlier, in the initial setup, not only were you hunkered down, but your knee bend was way too deep, beyond 90 degrees. You can't, beyond 90 degrees, explode and accelerate and unbend the legs as effectively as you can less than that. It's like overstretching the muscles, going too deep on squats. You burn a lot of time and energy getting yourself into an explosive, fundamentally sound position, okay? So what we need to do is get you to 90 degrees or less, okay? So straighten you out, elevate you a little bit, and then I think what we needed to do from that point on was to shift your weight back in the stance to get you balanced by positioning the knees right over the toes, the heels in contact with the ground. In the process of doing that, we're moving you further away from the ball and higher away from the ball, which helped us to correct the arm under extension, get you well extended to make a complete and aggressive accelerating throw. All right. The last thing that we had is the guide hand or left hand or secondary throwing hand. Sometimes you kind of jab at it. Let's take advantage of both arms to not only control the ball, but to accelerate it to the target. Let's get that hand all the way through the legs, thumbs to the sky, palms to the sidelines. You can give me 5 on the other side of your legs as you complete the snap. That's called the give me 5 drill to help you train for that, okay? Go ahead and step in there. That all makes sense to you, right? Yep. Okay. I'm going to 3-step you. The first thing we do is pull you forward. Get your knee bend to 90 or less, straightens the back and extends the arms. I'm going to raise you up, maximizing operating room under your torso. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to push you back into the hips towards your target until the heels touch the ground, knees are over the toes, you're solid on your feet. That's a big, aggressive stance for a guy that's about your height. How's it feel? Good. Throw it hard. Not bad at all. Very solid on the feet. Now, torso to limbs. We talked about earlier in an optimal setup, a lot of times we're going to see gap width downfield between the shoulder and the knees. You got real long limbs. You look a little different, but that's okay. We just recognize and acknowledge that you're not going to have nearly as much extension between shoulders and the knees when you're in the setup, okay? Just an observation to be aware of, okay? Ready? Pull you forward, raise you up, push you back and in, push against my hand slightly. Now relax it down to where you're comfortable. Set that ball on the ground. Can you see your target okay? Yep. Give it a good aggressive throw. Excellent. That's even better than when we filmed you the first time. Yeah. Tried to film. Yeah, any questions on that? Nope. Okay, the last thing we want to look at is getting that left hand through your legs better. Let me show you how we get you set up without doing the 3-step. Coming in, you were really hunkered down and hunched, too low to the ground, knees in front of the toes, knee bend too deep, not a lot of leverage and underextended. Straighten out the back. Take the whole head to tail platform, raise it a couple inches further. Shift the weight back until the knees are over the toes. That moves you further from the ball and improved arm extension. You're nice and solid. Give me 5 with this hand as you come through the legs. Okay, that'll help you get more out of the left hand. The other thing we talked about is you could actually take the ball and simply offset it to the side 1 inch in your stance. Experiment with both of those things. You can do one if you want. And see which one gives you the best result at getting a good 2-handed throw, okay? That's coming along. You got any questions? Nope. Look solid on your feet. Good job. Okay, Don. I can screw in. 5 minutes or less. Oh. Nice, Ryan.